All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to my live stream tonight. I just wanted to uh, do something chill and do some drawing and hang out. So, yeah, let me know in the chat how you're doing tonight. Um, and yeah, we're just gonna chill. And also, if anyone, I tried to do some soundtracks beforehand, but if you can let me know if you can hear me all right, that would be helpful as well. Um, but yeah, so what I'm thinking about doing is um, drawing out. I've been playing around with some ideas because I haven't done any artwork in quite some time. Um, I put like a little slideshow of some like my past doodles and stuff, but most of like my art, last art that I actually completed and finished, and like my last even like commission work and everything was like in 2014. So that's a pretty big gap um, since I last was really in the creative flow. But I'm now at a place where I'm definitely wanting to. Oh, thanks, Robert. You can hear me good. Awesome. um, yeah, so now I'm at a place where I'm wanting to play around again in art. I got an iPad Pro in recent times, and with the intention of wanting to do some digital art in here, which I haven't really done before, because in the past a lot of like my drawing was done on paper, and then when I did want to do, it was like a long process. So I would sketch out on paper, and then I would trace it onto, let's say, like thicker paper, and then from there, if I wanted to do line work, I would like scan it in and go into Photoshop and things like that. And back in the day, I did have like a Wacom, I don't know how you pronounce it, I think it's like Wacom tablet that would, where you can draw into the computer, but I didn't like that process, right? Because it's not the same as like drawing on paper when you have like a tablet, but then you're looking at a computer screen. But I think this whole iPad Pro situation is like awesome. And so yeah, I'm learning to use Procreate. Yay, Golden Spirit Rising, Robert. Let's see. Good. Glad to hear you're doing good. Let's see. I love Procreate, my favorite drawing tool. And you can hear me as well. Awesome. Yeah, I've been playing around a little bit with Procreate. So I'm still learning it. Still trying to figure out how, I guess, all the different brushes and things work. But yeah, but we just play around. So yeah, so I think the plan today is I'm feeling sea turtles. I want to try to sketch out a sea turtle. We'll see how it goes. I'm not one for photorealism, so this will be a very simplistic sea turtle, kindergarten style, but that tends to be my style. So, yeah, I'm going to attempt this here. I mean, I pulled up some reference pictures on my phone, so at least I have a general idea of what a sea turtle looks like. And we'll see how this goes. But yeah. Let's see. And then I think this is so cool too. Like, I love the fact that if you have the pencil like sideways, it does like this whole situation, the shading. But then now I'm still learning how to do it like properly. Happy sea turtles, yes. We'll do it Bob Ross style. They have to be happy. We can't have depressed. Although sea turtles though, right? Because they live like what, over 100 some odd years. So I feel like to live that long, you have to be happy. Like, I think sea turtles must hold a tremendous amount of wisdom. And that's, some insight into how my brain works. So, try to get a outline here. See how this goes. I guess one thing I do like about being able to do everything all in one place is you save trees. So yeah, digital art is eco-friendly. I definitely used to go through a lot of paper back in the day. about this. And then I also like the fact that if you make mistakes, you can easily correct them. Oh, see, I did all that, and I don't even know if I like this one. I might redo it. That was my first attempt. I'll try again. I'm gonna look at my reference picture again. But yeah, how are you? How's your weekend going, everyone? It's Sunday night. My weekend's been pretty chill. I didn't really do much this weekend. Just kind of hung out. I gotta watch a movie. I watched last night. It's called Legally Blonde for the first time in like years. Which I did not realize that movie is almost 20 years old. Like, that is so trippy to me, like how the years are just like going by, because I totally remember loving that movie when it first came out, when I was in high school. And it was so funny too, looking at like the fashion that's in that movie, and then just how I remember it, like it was so on trend then, like the whole flare jeans, and oh, it's so crazy to think, yeah, 20 years. It's so trippy. But yeah, it's a fun movie, even though it's obviously playing off of serious stereotypes and, you know, the airhead trope and whatnot. It is funny, the whole Valley Girl thing. But I remember when I was a kid, like, oh, when Clueless came out, that was a good one. Like, I remember my friends, I was like in the 6th grade. I know, right? 20 years. I tripped out too when I realized that, when I looked at the year, and then I was just like, what? But yeah, I remember when like Clueless came out, and me and my friends, like, 'cause I think I was probably in like maybe 6th grade or so, middle school, somewhere in there. But I just remember like me and my friends totally saying totally alike and like trying to talk like them, like, oh my god. Luckily that didn't stick with me. Because yeah, that would be crazy to still talk like that. Empowering in a weird way. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. But yeah, the airheady thing. And I was recently doing actually research on it, the whole Valley Girl talk and where that started. And I guess where it got popularized was actually from, I guess, the band like Zappa. And like, as I had a song called Valley Girl, and his daughter Moon Zappa, and they used to talk like that. And then so that's how it all started. I mean, Clueless was, yeah, Clueless was a classic. Oh, hey Virginia! Glad you could hop in the stream. Or VAP. That was like cool. Like that was like, oh no, what happened to my, there we go. the wanting to be in that whole, like the popular kid thing, and yeah. And it's just funny how like those type of movies set like fashion for the time, and you know how people dressed and things like that. And I remember wanting to be all trendy and all what have you. Oh yeah. With Legally Blonde, then yeah, there were definitely positive messages in it. I do like the way that they did it. And it was cool too that I found out that they actually changed up the ending in some ways, to have a better ending and empowering message, to where, you know, you actually see her graduate with, you know, honors and all that. Yeah, and so I think, yeah, the movie did a good job in that, but then obviously they still had to play off of all the different stereotypes and things like that, which was the fun of the movie. I think that's what makes it so fun, is just how the characters are. a little just surreal in a lot of ways. All right, let's see. I don't know how. I think I'm feeling a little bit better with this second attempt. I think I'm winning. Again, I gotta figure out how to not shade. I think I'm wanting the top part to be a bit more curved. And I also think I drew it too big because I don't have room for the head. That's the joy of digital. I can just shrink this with a push of a button. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Let's see, it's on warp. I think I want uniform. And I'm gonna shrink it down. Maybe like that. I think that'll work. And then let me erase some of this. But yeah, that was about all I did this weekend. Let's see. But yeah, thinking 20 years. Luckily, and it's so crazy too, because I'm also thinking like I'm not yet at my 20-year, like, cause I graduated in 04, so then that means, yeah, my 20-year reunion is coming up in like what, 4 years? Like that's kind of trippy too. The years, man, they just keep on going. And it's so funny too, because I think of like kids nowadays, like I'm starting to feel like very just out of touch, like, because I don't know, like, when I hear young people talk now, it's kind of like, wait, what? What are these words you're using? I have been out of the loop for a while too, as far as like hearing, keeping up with slang and, I don't know, pop culture and things like that. Because I remember even like back in, what was it, like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or so, but when everyone was saying yellow, and I was like, what are they saying? What is this yellow? Yeah, I didn't really understand the pronunciation of it. And so I remember I tried looking it up, but I didn't spell it right. So I just had no clue. What is this YOLO that all these kids keep talking about? What does it mean? And then finally, I remember just one moment where I finally, I guess, seen it written out or something. I was like, oh, you only live once. It was so sad. Yeah. And then I remember one of my friends giving me crap about it. She's like, because Drake's song was out at that time. But then she's like, he says you only live once in the song. But I was just like, it's still, I just didn't make the correlation. So, yeah. But yeah, even now, I just, yeah, unfortunately continue to get out of touch with all the current speech. But all is well. I'm definitely one of those people that now I'm at a place where I could be like, you know, back in my day. All right, let's see. Trying to give him a little turtle. Now I don't like the head. Let me see if I get the eraser. Turtles. Try this again. Let's see. I was thinking of turtles. Man, Ninja Turtles back in the day. Anyone? They were like everything. And the only thing I was so sad about is I always wanted like the action figures when I was a little kid. Like I wanted the Ninja Turtle action figures, but I never got them. Like I remember one of my cousins, he had the action figures. I remember playing with his Ninja Turtle action figures. But I always wanted my own, but I never got them. I guess I could buy them now if I wanted them, but I don't really want them now. See, now I'm at an age where I can feel like cartoons were better back in the day. And then with the Ninja Turtles, I don't think I didn't realize that they were all named like, I guess like after artists until I was in Chicago. It was like after boot camp, and I was taking a tour, and then the tour guide was talking about, I guess at the top of this museum is like all the names, and then they were saying that that's how the artist came up with the names was because of that or something. Some sort of tidbit fact like that. I don't know if it was correct or not, but that is my memory of that. I was like, oh, that is interesting. Oh, Mario! Oh my goodness! Don't even get me started on Nintendo. Yeah, I had my first Nintendo, the very first one, right? Nintendo One, the original OG. When I was 5 years old, I got a Nintendo. So yes, Mario Brothers. Oh, and Duck Hunt. Remember that? Oh yeah, that was where it's at, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo was this shit, and then yeah, going into Super Nintendo, I remember having fun with that. Super Mario Brothers. Telling you, things are just nostalgia is real as you get older. Or as I notice as I'm getting older, I fall into nostalgia so much. Yep, Duck Hunt. Do you remember that one game? I don't remember what it was called, but I remember you had like this mat. And so I remember having this mat and you would run on it. And so I think it was like a track and field game or something. You would run and then you would jump. Yep, yep. Island, whoop whoop. Right? I think that's what I would be totally down playing Nintendo. I remember uh, this was like, yeah, this is probably like 2000, yeah, 2004 when I was in the Navy. I got like a Palm Pilot. Remember Palm Pilot? This is before smartphones. Or it wasn't a Palm Pilot. It was actually made by Dell, but it was the same type of thing, like a little, uh, personal, what is it? What was it called? It was called like a PDA, right? Personal digital assistant. Um, but I had on there a Mario, like a Nintendo emulator on that little device. I could play. So I remember when I was in the Navy, like I was on my night shifts playing like Mario. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, my pencil stopped working. What do I do? Technical difficulties. All right. Let me try to figure this out. Live. Or here, I'm gonna switch to my camera, and then I'm gonna figure out how to get my Apple Pencil back working. Let's see. Hello. All right. So my pencil stopped working, so I need to probably gonna unplug my iPad. Usually that's what I do. I plug it back in. Let's see if I figure this out. Technical difficulties. The joys of technology. Oh yeah, so that's what I just did. Let's see if this works. No, still not working. I know it's full charged. I charged it before the stream. Let me try again. Apple, don't let me down. Plug it in. Let me make sure it's connected. Bluetooth. Apple Pencil. It says it's connected. and it's at 96% battery, so I know my pencil's charged. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, I found the issue. Oh, this is so sad. That wasn't the issue. I figured it out. So it wasn't the Bluetooth. Let me go back to my... Alright. So, sorry, I think I froze for a second, but hopefully you guys are still, hopefully I'm still live. Let me go back here. So what the issue was is I accidentally switched my color to white. So I was writing with white. So that's why I need to switch it back to black. As we were talking about airheads earlier, that was definitely a an airhead move of mine. Alright, so we're back in it. Let me know if you guys can still see me after all this. Am I still live? Hello? Uh-oh. Okay, I'm still live. Alright. Alright, let's get at it. So I got one little, I don't know, what do you call it? Because it's not a leg on a sea turtle. Is it a fin? No, maybe a flipper? Whatever sea turtles have. Told you, this isn't gonna be the most photorealistic. This is like caveman drawings that I'm doing here. So easy. A caveman can do it. A cave person. There we go. That's how the kids would say it today. Because you gotta be woke. It's a cave person. You can't Turtle. Yep. Let's see my little reference picture here. Not quite right, but I'm not going. As long as it looks good enough. Yep. I don't think I've ever really seen it. I'm trying to think if I've ever even seen a sea turtle before. Let's see. Oh, awesome! I'm glad you're joining along. Oh, shadowing. Oh, that's awesome. I gotta get on that level eventually. Okay, right now I'm learning to sketch in this. And then once I learn to sketch here in Procreate, I'm gonna learn to do line work. I've watched some tutorials on how to do line work, so that'll be my next challenge. And then, yeah, and then, we'll build from there. So after line work, I can get into the whole shading and coloring, or you said shadowing. Yeah, so I gotta build it up, get back into learning the different things. But I think I am gonna like this process over my old school method of drawing in here, or of just drawing on paper. Although I am now kind of wishing I would have gotten a larger iPad, but then it's like I didn't want to go too large because obviously I travel a lot, and so it's just like I wanted it to still be travel friendly. But it's bigger because before this iPad Pro, I had the iPad Mini for like several years, and then so this was definitely an upgrade from that, and in size as well. But It does. I think it's good. It's a decent size. I think it's good enough for what I'm wanting to do. But I've seen some people though use the larger iPad. I was like, ooh, so much real estate. Must be nice. But yeah, and I have been loving the Apple Pencil as well. Like, I think it's so cool, like how it's so like you could do the pressure sensitive and all that. Technology is just amazing how it's been advancing. As we were, talking about nostalgia before, like, when we grew up, we didn't have all this. So it is so cool. And the fact that we, like I said, we didn't even have smartphones or cell phones. Like, oh man, like, remember using payphones? Like, it is so trippy to think that kids today have no clue, will never know the struggle, or using a payphone, or calling collect, or all of that. And it's so funny. I remember a few years back, I went to a museum with a friend, because she has like two small kids, so I went it was like a children's museum, and then in the museum there was like an exhibit and it had a payphone, and I was just like, oh my god, it's like, are we that old that payphones are in a museum right now? Like, and then I just remember her daughter, who was like 3 years old at the time or whatever, going to the payphone and like picking it up. I was like, oh my goodness, this is just so hilarious to me. Yeah, kids will never know. Or, the landlines are, before even call waiting, having a busy signal. Like, what is a busy signal? The busy tone. Or the struggle, right, because I have always had like anxiety and things like that. So just the anxiety of calling a friend on the phone, and like having to hype myself up before I called, because their parents or someone wouldn't answer, because it's not like your friends had phones too. So it's just like you're calling your friends the house phone, right? So then you have to be ready to ask, is so-and-so home? So yeah, I remember that struggle that kids today don't know about. They just all text each other now. They don't even bother calling. Or as I'm saying, like, I know what kids are doing. I don't even know what kids are doing. Do they even text anymore? Are they on a whole nother level now? Is there some new technology I don't know about? Let's see. I can figure out how to do these bottom legs. Alright. Put it up here. Try that again. Coming out here. See what else. Maybe. Oh no, that's looking a little weird. Let me look at my picture again. My reference photo. Yeah, I don't think it's quite angled the way that I want it. Alright, redo. Let me erase it. Yeah, erasing is so much easier on digital. You don't get little eraser marks everywhere. Or that eraser residue. Oh no, wait, it came back. Oh, I think I accidentally made it come back. Alright, now to erase again. Ooh. So I set my Apple Pencil up where I put like a little stylus at the tip. Is it here? And then I guess I am Procreate to where if you use your finger, it does the eraser. And so I'm trying this out. So we'll see how this goes. So then that way I can use the back end of my Apple Pencil like a regular pencil eraser. Although sometimes I tend to forget that I set that up, so I can always end up swapping over to the eraser tool. I'm trying this out. All right, and then I can just flip it over and keep going. Let's see. So I want it to be angled down a little bit more. Yeah, there's tons of accessories that you can get on Amazon for cheap. So like with mine, I have this whole little rubber grippy thing so that it's easier to, you know, in my hand so I don't cramp up as much. And then yeah, I got a special end cap that has the little stylus pad on it. And then I bought extra tips because I realized that it's easy to wear through the tips. More so because on my iPad screen here, I have the texture. I'm trying to think what it's, oh, oops. I have a screen cover that's textured, so when you write, it feels like paper. Just because I quickly realized I did not like the glossy feel of having it with the pencil, so I found out that they make it, I think it's called paper-like or something like that. So yeah, I put like the paper-like screen protector on here, so then it has more texture, so I actually feel it sounds like a pencil when you're actually writing on it. But the only downside to this texture on here is I feel like you wear through the tips a bit faster than you would if it was a glossy screen. But I think it's a good enough trade for me because I still like having the texture, and it's not that extreme of a situation of wear down. But tips, you know, I bought a multi-pack and they were like cheap on Amazon, so it's just like whatever. I got plenty to go. So all right, I think I'm liking this leg better. All right, now I gotta do the other leg. Turtle. Let's see, so I wanted to kind of come out at the same place. Yeah, there's tons of accessories out there. So yeah, this one I like, having the texture screen. It feels so much better with writing. Let's undo. To be kind of curvy. Down. Maybe. I don't know what's going on there. This leg I think looks skinnier. Oh man. I guess technically I could cut out this leg and then mirror it and just put it on the other side and call it a day. But then again, I kind of like when they're not totally matching, you know? It's a little bit more realistic. So, I don't know. I'll try a couple more attempts and see how it goes. notes again. I'll try more right here. Maybe. All right. I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy for now. Alright, so I guess we got his head and legs and arms. I'll start working on the shell. Yeah. Trying to think what other topics to talk about. Let me see here. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna put an outline around the shell. I randomly wanted to check what phase the moon was in. So the moon right now is at waning crescent. So the new moon is coming up in a few days. Any cool books reading? Or any cool books you're reading these days? Yeah, let's see what I'm reading. I do audiobooks. Like that's, I would say, the majority of the books that I read. Well, it's a bit of my current rotation. I've been listening to I Hope I Screw This Up by Kyle Cease. I've been liking some of his stuff here lately. I read his other book, I think it's called The Illusion of Money, a few months ago. And I really liked that book. And then, so I guess this book, I Hope I Screw This Up, is his first one. Yeah, and it's cool. I think it's done in a different style. It's almost like someone's just hearing someone's stream of consciousness as he's writing. But in that, I do feel like a lot of good insight comes out of it. So yeah, I've been liking that one. But I'm like halfway through it. And then I was also going through The Surrender Experience by Michael Singer. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite books. Just because I love just that story that he shares of, just his life and how he was able to, basically through just him wanting to just meditate and surrender to life. And as he did that, like all this magical stuff was just started happening in his life. Where next thing he knows, without really even trying, he is, the CEO of a multi-million-dollar corporation that just kind of spontaneously happened because he just said yes to everything that came to him in life and allowed life to just guide him and just and to surrender to life. So I love that. It's that philosophy, which is something that I'm definitely attempting to apply in my life here recently, and it's interesting to see what comes up your way as you do that, and really listen to what life is bringing before you, and allowing life and way to be a communication from the divine. And that's my thoughts on that. Let's see what else is because I go through so many audiobooks because I go on a lot of walks. Like I walk over an hour or so a day, so I usually listen to audiobooks as I'm walking. So I go through so many audiobooks. um, Ooh, one that I have been enjoying too, I've been going through it a bit slowly, and actually this one I started doing actually on Kindle because it was just more, it was a bit too heavy, or not heavy, but I felt it needed more focus. So usually books that I feel I want to focus on more, I'll switch and I'll get like the Kindle version to go through it a bit more slowly. So the Anatomy of Loneliness by Till Swan, and so that one, oh man, I've been getting just so much out of that book. I'm not done with it because I've just kind of been taking it just piece by piece and just really working through and just kind of absorbing the material. But that is a good one as well. Yeah. So those are just, I guess, a few of my books. What about yourself? What you got? What are you reading? Any good books you recommend? Let's see. And figure out how I want to do the patterns on the back. I'm trying to do this and keep in mind because like I know I want to do line work with this. Yeah. So if you see in my little slideshow that I put down here, my past work, is I like doing like, you know, like the line work, the what do they call it, like Zentangle type style, whatever. So I'm thinking I'll probably end up doing that with this turtle. So like I'm trying to gauge how I want to do the patterns, but to do it in a way to where I'm able to, you know, do my intricate line work later. Yeah, so I figure out what shapes I want to put on the back. I said I have my reference photos I'm looking at, so I have a few different examples of patterns, so I don't know, maybe I'll try a few out and see if any of them I like. So I can always erase so easily, because it's digital. So I'm gonna try this one out. I'm listening to the Empath Survival Guide by Judith. Oh, is she the one that, didn't she write a book on surrender as well, I want to say? I don't know, that name sounds familiar. But the Empath Survival's Guide, lots of amazing tips and processes for sensitive. Ooh, I'll have to check that out, because I'm definitely a sensitive soul. But yeah, totally. Actually, let me get that now. Check that out now on my Audible. Put that on my list. Let's see. Yeah, because I definitely am one to be sensitive to energies and whatnot, and take on all the energies around me. But I think I do better now, at least realizing being able to gauge the difference of, you know, what is mine and what is not mine. Although it's tricky. I say I'm doing better, but then sometimes I'm probably not. Oh yeah, she does write the Ecstasy of Surrender. Yeah, I have that book. I don't think I've read it. I bought it because it just seems so awesome, because I think I actually came across that book, The Ecstasy of Surrender, in an actual physical bookstore. Remember those? Again, as we're talking about nostalgia. Remember going into bookstores? So yeah, I remember I was like walking through a bookstore and then happened to come across that book, and then yeah, I was like flipping through it. I was like, ooh, I like this, so I bought the book, but then I haven't read it yet, but I'm gonna get on it. but I do. I'm gonna look up this one here, the Empath Survival Guide. So yeah, thank you for the recommendation. Totally. I'm adding it right now. If I can find it. Here it is. All right, got it on my list. Thank you. Huh. I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about these patterns. I might have to go with a different pattern design. This is... Yeah, I don't think I'm liking this at all. Yeah, we're gonna have to erase. I don't like it. I'm gonna try another pattern. Alright. So... let's see here. Ooh. Alright, so try another pattern. Let's see what I can find. I guess I could try to make something up myself, but I don't know. I like having inspiration sometimes. And then I can go from there. Usually once I get into the more detailed work, then I kind of let myself just flow. But then it's like I just want the general outline first, and then create within a container. Let's see. Sea turtle. Draw. Oh, but yeah. I think I was going into the new moon is on the 17th, so that's how many days? 4 days away. So perfect time to do some new moon ceremonies. Anybody trying to manifest something? This new moon energy is good for putting out your intentions and your desires. Cause trying to remember all the science, because I read a whole book on new moon, which is where I got that from. But yeah, so that's what they say. So, and then usually the new moon, because like the new moon will happen at a certain time, but you could easily, if you wanted to, like I said, do like a ceremony right after your intentions. You could do it even a couple days before the new moon, or even a couple days after. Like you have a whole window of time there where the energy is still right to put your intentions out there, whatever you're trying to draw into your life. But I always love working with the moon because it's so crazy how the moon can affect things, right? Like you hear about like the statistics of how like on a new moon statistically there's like more births that happen, there's more more crime, unfortunately, because people just start, or even the fact that the word lunatic has the word lunar, right? Lunatic, like it stems from moon. So that was just like amazing. Like, but how cool is it, right? There's this random ball just sitting out in the sky affects so it affects the tides and just everything like that. I don't know, it's cool stuff. The universe is pretty trippy and cool how everything is connected. So look at different patterns. I guess there's a number of different ways I could go with this. What to do. Decisions. There's too many decisions. It's the paradox of choice. Which is definitely something that I struggle with. Like, I do not like having too many options. Like, because I think, well, I guess there's actually psychology that backs it. Like the paradox of choice. If you give a customer too many options, they won't know what to pick. Like, it's better if they only have like 2 or 3 different things to pick from, and then the decision is a lot quicker. But it's definitely something that affects me. I do not like. I hate buffets. Like, I actually get anxiety attacks in a buffet because it's just I don't like just there's just too many choices. Like I would rather prefer to go to a restaurant where the meal is put together, the plate is already there, you know, and you get this side, you know, you get the entree, this, they already decided, and then maybe I can at most tell them, you know, no onions or something like that. Like that is what I want. Let's see. See, totally. In my culture, full moon is the warrior returning home from battles. So the lunatic energy of celebrating his return began. Oh, I like that. Debauchery and craziness. Yes. Oh, that is so awesome. Thank you for sharing. Oh, I love that. Yeah, and it's so cool too, right? That just so many different cultures from around the world have just ceremonies and events and things tied to the moon. Um, I love it. I love the moon. I always love catching a good full moon. um, oh, and it's always. Have you ever watched a full moon rising? Because it moves so fast on the horizon. But to just sit on a night, on a clear night, and then you can just watch the moon just go from the horizon and just slowly just work its way up and just stay in stillness. Like, oh, that is bliss. That is definitely bliss. Um, yeah, gotta love the moon. I think I was going on a random rant about my paradox of choice and anxiety. But yeah, buffets, they do. They freak me out, man. I've had so many panic attacks. It's just too many choices. Like I remember one time I went, because when I went to Egypt last year, I was attending an event. I went there for an event, but I also stayed longer afterwards on my own. But when I was attending an event, we were staying at the Four Seasons in Cairo. And Four Seasons, beautiful hotel, amazing service, but there was breakfast buffet. And I just remember the first morning there, I'm in the breakfast buffet, and I'm just like, oh. And then luckily one of my friends came up to me because she could see that I was just not doing well. She's like, are you all right? She's like, here, let me help you out. And then she was so sweet. Like she just put together a plate for me and helped me through the process. And and I'm fully aware that this is sad. Like one should not be, and what a first world problem to have, right? Oh no, too much food. What shall I do? But nevertheless, when there's too many choices of this, I don't like it. Just give me one or two. Let's see. See, I had no idea going into this that figuring out the pattern on the back would be the most complex thing for me. Even though I have my reference, I picked the design. Like I know what I'm going for. I guess the look that I'm going for. I'm just trying to get it to go right. Just want it to do right. As if there's a right and wrong in art. There is no right and wrong. You just gotta do it. Or as Kyle C says, you know, I hope I screw this up. Turtle. Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Alright, I think I'm getting somewhere. Maybe. Okay, maybe not quite, but it's something. Maybe. Why is it going on dark all of a sudden? Alright, well, that's something. And let's see, I guess I'm just doing more of the same. Do another little shape here. I'm trying to think of more topics again to talk about. See, I talked about new moon ceremony, set your intentions. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm feeling a little bit better now with how this is. So I'm liking this a little more. Although now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of wishing I would have made the body a bit more round. I just realized I made it a bit more squished and ovally, which I know I could use a distort tool if I wanted to, and I could probably bulge it out a little. So now I'm deciding if I want to do that or not. Decisions. Oh, see, I think I did the thing again. So that's what happens. Somehow when I press on the screen, it switches. Oh, because it's the color picker. The owl on a tree drawing is amazing. What inspired it? That was actually my very first, and I think to this day, my only commissioned piece. I actually got paid for that piece, which was awesome. So it was inspired by the person who commissioned me. She is really into crafting, like knitting, and she loves owls. She loves owls, and then she does knitting and sewing and things like that. And so she commissioned me to do a piece for her crafting room. And so I started like kind of just thinking about her, and then so I knew that she really liked owls. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll have an owl. And then I just started thinking of different other things to incorporate with it, and just had fun with it. So yeah, that was the inspiration, was just going off of the person who I was creating it for. And that's actually a really large piece. Well, I say really large. It's 24 by 24. So I mean, I guess that's not super large. A part of me one day wants to do a mural. That's like a goal at some point in my life. Yeah, that is my one commission piece that makes me feel like I could claim being an artist, because I got paid for art at one point in my life. Not that validates being an artist at all. Well, again, me and having the color set to white. Let's try this again. See, at some point, I'm gonna get a hang of this Procreate situation. Yeah. But thanks for asking about that one. That was that's one of my favorite pieces that I did, just because I put obviously so much into it, and you know, time and love and all that jazz. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Wait. Do I want to do that? But yeah, I'm happy that I thought about doing this stream. This is nice. Just giving me a chance to, an excuse to draw and hang out and chill. Because I guess what inspired this is because I just recently found out, like I said, about Twitch. Or I didn't recently find out. I knew that Twitch existed, but I only went to the website here recently myself in person a few days ago, which I guess that's something I've been doing with my time. I've been on Twitch. And then I noticed that there's this whole art community on Twitch of just artists doing their work and chatting and just this whole community, and I was just like, ooh, I like this, I want to do that. So that's what had inspired this stream to come about. Although it's been such a process of me figuring out how to do this stream, because this is obviously different than my YouTube streams where it's set up differently. Like I had to figure out how to connect my iPad and you know, get things all situated and everything. So it's been a learning curve, but I think it's all right for now. I mean, this setup isn't as fancy as some of the streamers that I've seen out there, but you know, this will do for what I want to do. This works. And actually, I actually just bought a new webcam, and I really like this webcam, because I have a MacBook Pro, but what gets me is this MacBook Pro I bought last year, so it's a newer computer, but the webcam sucks. But I just bought this little webcam, and it was only $20 on Amazon, but it's night and day difference of the quality. I was just like, oh my god, Apple is slacking on their webcam game on their MacBooks. But yeah, I'm happy to do this. So yeah, maybe this will be a weekly thing I'll do on the weekends, you know, just kind of chill and stream. Get ready for the week. Tomorrow is Monday. Monday fun day. Trying to figure out. I don't think I want this part to go here. Not liking it. Erase. Okay. And then I'll bring this part down here. Yeah? Huh. Not bad. It'll do. don't know what I'm doing in this bottom part here. It's getting a little wonky. Yeah, I definitely miss doing art. Spending the last number of years doing a lot more, I guess, analytical type things, which, yes, some of the work that I do, creative in its own right, you know, creative problem solving and coming up with solutions to things and creating systems and things like that. But yeah, so it's a different outlet. But I want to get back to some of my old loves of drawing and yeah. Eventually, I would love to get back into like photography, filmmaking, things like that. But with that, yes, there's nothing stopping me from going out with a camera now. But a lot of what I like shooting is things with people, and then obviously right now, this time on Earth, it's being around people is. It's not the most advisable. But yeah. I love doing like portrait photography and then filmmaking. I would say one of my favorite styles. I love shooting docs, like mini documentaries, like just storytelling, telling people stories. Yeah, those have always been my favorites, just because it's amazing what could come out of, yeah, just getting, like spending time with someone and just really getting into the story and then being able to capture the story in film, or I guess it's not film these days, but you know what I mean, on video, and cut it together, the editing process of how it flows together. Like I always find that magical with editing, right? He's like, especially when you're shooting something where you end up with just all this footage, and then in a way you're left with like a blank canvas, you know, in the editing software, and then somehow you're gonna take all this footage and then piece it together on the timeline in a way to where you end up with just this, yeah, work of art. And yeah, it's just always, I mean, all art is magical like that, right? Because you end up with just like a blank sheet, or you know, just blank canvas of whatever medium it may be, and then somehow through the process you end up with something that didn't exist before you started the process, and it's like, where did that come from? Like I have always been amazed, like when I actually have a finished piece, like even I myself will just sit there just staring at it like, where did that even come from? Like, how'd that happen? Some magical force in the universe. Oh, my turtle needs a tail. He needs a little sea turtle tail. Maybe. Let me go back to my reference photos. That don't look right. Maybe he doesn't need a tail. Do sea turtles even have tails? Now I'm questioning things. Yeah, art in all forms is so rewarding. Being a creator, I'm telling you, it is. It's just one of the magical things about being able to be human. I guess now that I'm looking at all these references, some of them have tails, some don't. So does mine need a tail? I don't know. I'm gonna take the tail off for now. I'll come back to that. I don't know. Now I'm like, do I want to give him eyes? What kind of eyes? Am I doing cartoony eyes? Ah, decisions. I may wait on the eyes as well. Okay. Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is my turtle. I guess I could play around with a couple different types of eyes. Let's see. Look at some different ones. What type of eyes would my sea turtle have? This is tricky because this is an above angle. So. So then I guess technically if it's above angle, his eyes would be on the side of his head. So then I don't know, maybe I don't need to do eyes. Then some of these drawings do still have them at the top of the head. I mean, I guess I could do something like, oh, that's the eraser tool. Erase. Let's see. If I do something like this. It's like on the side, maybe? I don't know. I don't know about that. Let's see. What other options do I have for eyes? Yeah, I guess that's what most people do. Or, I guess, it could be on this side. Let's see, like, outwards. So, like, little bubble eyes. Like Kermit the Frog. Wait, that's a frog. It still has bubble eyes. Speaking of Kermit, Muppets. Come on, anybody else a Muppet fan? Man, I can get down with a good Muppet movie. I haven't watched one in a while, but Christmas time, I love watching like holiday Muppet movies, which I guess is right around the corner. But I remember, was it last Christmas or so? I was like watching this holiday. It was like a holiday Muppet movie that I had never seen before, and oh my goodness, it was so epic and awesome. And the reason why I say it's epic, it's like I'm trying to remember like the whole storyline, but the reason why I remember being epic is there were so many cameos, but they were all like puppet cameos. So like I said, it's a Muppet movie, but then Sesame Street characters showed up, Fraggle Rock characters showed up, and it's just like every puppets that existed back in the day. It just all showed up in this movie, and I was just like, oh my god, every time a cameo happened, I was like, oh my god, it's Fraggle Rock! I was like, ah. I was having way too much fun watching that Muppet movie. Like, I remember I even posted on social media, like, oh my god, you guys! This is the best Muppet movie ever! Let's see, what oh, hello! Hey, Base Dangle! Good to see you! I'm good. Hey, don't worry about missing it. We're just hanging out. I just been here drawing a turtle, so what you see on the screen is what you missed. It's just drawing the turtle. I've been, just sketching out a sea turtle, and then we've just been chatting about nostalgia and all kinds of things. So we're just hanging. We're just chill. How are you doing? How's your night going, or morning? I never know where anyone is in the world, so I guess we can start with that. Where are you on Earth? And how is it where you are? Alright, so I think I might be liking the bubble eyes for now. We'll keep it for now. Right? Kermit and Piggy. That is quite, I mean, Kermit, he is a strong frog to put up with Miss Piggy. Like, she is so sassy and awesome. But yeah, you gotta be really strong to be able to hold a woman like that. See. Alright, good. Glad to hear you're doing well. Let's see. My sea turtle isn't coming out. Oh no, it's art! There is no getting it wrong. However your sea turtle is. It's all about the process. It's just sketching it out. You'll have to send me a snap. Send me a photo. Oh man. So mine isn't my turtle here isn't quite the masterpiece either. It's just about the process, just having fun. It's just, as long as it's a happy turtle, that's what matters. You got to go about it the Bob Ross style. Just a happy little turtle. There are no mistakes. No mistakes around here. Should have made a cup of tea. I think that's what I'm missing right now. Maybe I'll play around with inking. Like, I wasn't sure if I would get into that today on this stream. Like, I was gonna probably hold that for maybe the next stream, but maybe I'll play around and see what this will look like. Getting some, and this is just gonna be for play. I'm gonna do a new layer. Let's see, new layer, and then let's see what brush do I want to use for inking. Let's see. Well, there's an inking brushes. Let's see. We got a technical pen. I want to use that. I might use the technical pen. Let me see what this looks like. Oh no, but that I would probably definitely use when I get into my fine detail type work. But I think this is probably not what I'm quite going for right now. So let's see what else we got in here. Maybe dry ink. Let's see what this looks like. I don't know. Let's play around with a couple more. Told you, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with Procreate yet, so I'm still learning. Let's try the studio pen. And that's not quite doing what I want. And I know there's a way to even customize these brushes and things, but I'm not at that level yet. So whatever I'm gonna use, it's gonna be how it comes in the box. But I just want to find the right one. Maybe calligraphy. Let's see. Let's see what these look like. Brush pen. A script. Let's see. Maybe. That's my thing, figuring out like the strokes and things. Yeah, like figuring out the right pressure. That's the whole process in itself. Jeez. I don't know. Let me clear this. Oh no! I did it on the layer! The wrong layer! Let's see if we can undo all these. Oh goodness gracious. I thought I was on a new layer. Okay. Alright. Let's try this again. Oh man. Yeah, so this will be interesting, figuring out, how to do the line work. I don't know. Wonder if zooming in would help. Let's see. Zoom in. Or maybe zooming out. Zoom. So make it real tiny. It's just a little baby turtle. Little baby turtle. It's so squiggly. How do I not have squiggly line? Oh man, this is gonna be a process. Alright, we're just gonna go with it. We're going with it. I don't know. knows what's going on anymore. Yeah. Apparently line work is not going to be my forte here. Oh man. I don't know. This is when stuff got real. Oh man. See how many times I can spin it. I don't think that's helping anything. Somehow, some way, I will get a line here. Alright, let's see here. How do I... There we go. Well, that's something. I can always redo it. Let me make sure it's on its own layer. Alright, it's on its own layer. This is practice. I'm learning. Don't judge me. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't like that line. Yeah. Isn't it crazy that we're already approaching fall? Like, what a crazy year this has been. When I was going for a walk today, it's just like walking through, I'm just seeing leaves falling from the tree already. Like the leaves are already starting to fall as they do in autumn. But yeah, it's so trippy seeing the seasons change starting. Well, they're just starting, right? We're just getting in it. But yeah, it's so crazy that we're already in fall. People are already pulling out the Halloween stuff, like. It's like, goodness, here it is, the year already coming, winding down in the fourth quarter. And I'm still figuring out what I want to do, I guess, with myself coming up here. Since obviously I stopped traveling, then now I'm like, now what? Where do I want to go? Since I don't have a permanent home of residence, it's like I should probably figure that out. But then I'm like, I've been trying to think of like, okay, well, if I were to go somewhere or to move somewhere, where would I want to go? And I have no idea. So I feel like right now everywhere has issues. Because obviously, right? This just, the world is what it is. But it's like everywhere that I think about going, it's like, I don't know about going there because, there's this going on there or that going on there. Where right now, where I'm at, in Atlanta, which, hey, Atlanta has its issues too. Everywhere does. But at least where I'm at, physically, I feel like I'm in my own little bubble. Like I said, I go for my walks every day. Like my life is pretty chill where I'm at. So then I'm like, do I just try to stay where I'm at for the time being? But it's like I can't stay here forever. So I don't know. I don't know where I want to go. I wish I could have like a cabin in the woods. But not like a creepy cabin in the woods, but like just a nice luxurious cabin in the woods. And just chill in nature. Like, oh, that'd be an epic life. I would say if we were talking like my dream living situation, like if I had a magic wand, I could live somewhere, I would want, like I said, like chill house, like with you know, nature nearby with trails and everything. And then I would want a drum set. Like that's what I miss drumming. Oh my goodness. That is what I totally miss. But I have not lived somewhere where I could have a drum set in years. Or a real drum set. I have an electric drum set in storage, you know, when I moved out of my place in Portland. But I miss acoustic. Like, oh, there's no feeling like it. That's on my wish list one of these days, to live somewhere with far enough neighbors. Because drums are loud. No matter what you do, drums are loud. But that's what makes them so awesome. But yeah, I want to have a drum set again one of these days. Get back into drumming. Okay, that line's way too thick. Maybe I need to make this brush smaller. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, it's my dream to have a house by the ocean with tropical plants and fruits and trees around it. Oh yeah, that sounds delightful. Heck yeah. I mean, I'd be down for that too right now. And I almost thought about going to Hawaii when everything shut down, and you know, and I pretty much had to cancel my international travel and stuff. I was like I was in Atlanta at the time, you know, right, just staying in my Airbnb. But then I was just like, well, I don't have to technically stay here. I could just go somewhere else. And then I think Hawaii at that time, you had to do like the 2-week self-quarantine when you got in, which would have been fine because I'd be in Hawaii. And so, yeah, I was looking at going to Hawaii. I was like looking at all these different like houses that are like right on the beach and stuff. And just like, oh, that'd be the place to chill. And, you know, self-quarantine or whatever we call this that we're doing where we don't see humans. But I mean, it didn't happen. I just ended up deciding to stay where I'm at. But who knows? I guess I could still make that trip. But yeah, that would be legit. House on the beach. Island life is always good. You can't go wrong with island life. Because you notice, like, places by the beach, like cities and things by the beach, like, it's a whole different culture that happens. Like, there's, like, you know, beach time where everyone's just chill. And it's just like, you're not rushing about. It's just like, yo, dude, that's cool. Things just go slower, and I like that. I like that pace. It's just a slower pace, like not all in the hustle and bustle. I don't know, but I guess for a period of time, I thought about. I mean, this is before, you know, the whole 2020 situation, but for a period of time, I was thinking about like going out to New York for a while and experience, I guess, the hustle and bustle of actual city life. Just because I've never really been, I guess, in a big city, really. I mean, I visited big cities, like I visited New York, but I just lived in a really big city. That did not happen. But I know I wouldn't want to live there, like, indefinitely, but I just wanted to experience it, I guess. And then the one time I did visit New York, I was not prepared for that trip because it was November. but like it hadn't snowed yet. But like I didn't take warm enough clothes. Like it was so cold, and I was like trying to like explore the city, but I couldn't. I barely could explore anything because I was like freezing to death. And I know it's so funny. My friends are like, "Why didn't you just stop at a store and buy, the proper attire?" But it's just like, I don't know. I was just being cheap, I think. I didn't want to buy something just for the couple of days. I see. Oh gosh, NYC life. Yeah, no. I guess it's good to try, but the city wore me out after 20 years. Yeah, yeah, I know, and I hear that from people. Definitely, that it can wear on you. But I just wanted, I wanted to try it out for just a time, just so I could have that life experience. Um, I like to diversify my life experiences as much as possible. Have different perspectives of living. Um, But yeah, my New York trip I was so cold. Oh my god, I was so cold because I was wearing like canvas, like Vans, slip-ons, just canvas shoes, and so my feet were like frozen, and then I just had like this jacket that wasn't a real jacket, and it was just all bad. It was all bad. It was so bad. But I saw a little bit of New York. I went to Times Square, and I walked through a little bit of Central Park. I know it's huge, so I did not see it all, but I walked through it a little bit just to say I was there. And yeah, and then I visited a friend while I was out there, and then she was nice because I visited her like that night, and then she like gave me a jacket to wear when we were hanging out that night, which was helpful. As we went and we were like walking through Chelsea. And yeah, we just going to some cool places. So New York's legit. I liked it, just a little bit that I did get to explore. But then again, I love everywhere. Everywhere I go, and one of my friends jokes about that. No matter where I go, I'm end up like, I love it, and then I just want to stay forever. Like that was the problem I had. Like even when I was like traveling to different places, everywhere I go, I just fall in love anywhere I am. I'm just like, oh, this is so awesome. And then I end up extending my trip and staying longer. But yeah, so I don't know. That's just it's something about me. I end up just falling in love with everywhere I am. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna visit again one of these days and see more of it. I'm trying to think what I didn't see, because I did like the whole I got on one of those hop on hop off tour bus situations. Again, bad idea. It was so cold. Oh, it was so cold, because you know how they have like the open top. It was so cold. But I tried. Love visiting now without the pressure to live and hustle. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, one of the things I love though, definitely with visiting big cities and things, is just people watching is so much fun. Just like finding a place to chill and then just seeing just all the different walks of life that it can coexist in one space. It's just like so magical. I love people watching. There are just so many cool humans. And it was also fun when people watching sometimes. If you have a friend, it's like coming up with make-believe dialogue for people. I don't know if you've ever done that. Like, see people watching, it's kind of like, what do you think? What do you think those two people are talking about? Like, but never in negativity. I'm not one to really talk anything negative about people, so nothing like that, but just lighthearted curiosity. And it's always fun looking at when there's like groups of people walking or pairs, and then seeing the similarities between people, because a lot of times as humans we tend to be similar to those that we spend time with, then I mean, there's good and bad to that, but then it's just funny. Like you'll see, like a group of girls walking, and right, and they're all wearing maybe similar types of pants or shirts, or different, or guys are walking. They all have like the same hat, or or similar hats, or just things like that. Like I don't know. That's just something I always notice as I watch people through the streets. It's just usually when they're walking in pairs or groups, it's like there's always usually some sort of similarity in their fashion, or in their demeanor in some way, which is always intriguing. But then it's always cool when you see, like, I guess maybe groups, or when they're not, you don't find those similarities. So then it gets curious, right? It's like, what is this connection here? Yeah, definitely as someone who tends to be a quiet introvert, I make lots of observations. I'm definitely making tons of observations as I'm walking through the streets, taking it all in. I wish I was a writer. Probably have some profound stuff to write, but I mean, I have done some writing. Yes, maybe if I were to do it more. I mean, I guess that's with any skill, right? It's just one, you have to actually do it to grow the skill. Because I do like some of the writing that I did when I was like traveling through Spain. I wish I had a blog, but I didn't have that set up. But I was using my Facebook kind of like a blog. So every day I would do a post on my Facebook and then like share my inner like dialogue and things that I was going through. And so I feel like the writing that I was doing today, like I feel like then I had there's some profound stuff, but now it's like lost, right? Because anything you write on Facebook just gets lost through the, time goes on. It doesn't stay forever. Or nothing does, but yeah. I don't know. One of these days, maybe I'll write a book. But yeah, I feel like I've had so many experiences in life that I do wish I did better at writing and journaling and actually keeping track of all of it. The years just keep going by so fast. So much happens. Oh no. There we go. So I remember what inspired my trip through Spain was actually reading, Elizabeth Gilbert's Eat, Pray, Love. It's like part of my inspiration. Because I like at that time was like going through a breakup, and then I was just like, you know what? That's it. I'm going. I'm gonna do my own Eat, Pray, Love situation. I went to Spain. And Morocco. But I guess I didn't do Bali, or I think, was that where she went? Yeah. Oh no, she went to Indonesia. Right? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, cause she went to India, Italy, and then Indonesia. I remember her saying something about it was a coincidence. They all started with an I. Yeah, I like Elizabeth Gilbert. I was listening to a lot of her talks recently. Ooh, you did your breakup trip in Japan. I have yet to visit Japan. That has been on my list for like years. Because here's a story, all right? So I joined the military, right, when I was 17. And when I joined the military, like the one place I knew I wanted to deploy to, my number one place on my list of places I wanted to, go when I joined the military was Japan. I was just like, that was in my mind. I want to go to Japan. Number one. Like, I've always loved Japanese culture. And so, like I said, signed up at 17. And I ended up getting stationed in Jacksonville, Florida. And I guess as luck would have it, I got basically my training, because I was aviation electronics tech. So I had a whole year of like tech school training and stuff. So all of that happened in Jacksonville. And then my first duty station was in Jacksonville. So I got like reassigned to Jacksonville again. So same base. And I started, because I was in the Navy, so I had what's called shore duty. So so shore duty is where you don't deploy for 2 years. And then after shore duty, you go to sea duty, where you are deployable for 4 years. So you go on a cycle of 2 years shore to 4 years sea. But I worked, like I said, I was an aviation electronics tech, and the plane that I worked on was land-based. So it never actually went on, I never had to go to sea. I was never on a ship. So anyway, so yeah, I got stationed in Jacksonville, shore duty. So it was 2 years in Jacksonville. And then the next place where I got stationed again to another duty station on the same base, another command. And then that was my sea duty, but they had just came back from deployment. And so and then when you come back from deployment, 6 months deployment, you have a year. There's usually a year break before the next deployment. So they had just came back, so there's a year before the next deployment was coming up. And so at this point, by the time it came up for me to go to deployment, I had already did my 4 years active, which is what my contract was 4 years active duty. So when it was coming to the next deployment, they were saying the next deployment was going to be to Iraq, because this is, back in the day, we were still in our whole, I don't know, are we still, I don't know what's going on with the wars these days, but anyways, we were in Iraq at that time. And so I was just like, do I want to go do 6 months in Iraq? Because in order for me to do that, I would have had to sign in to re-enlist for a number of, I don't know what the extension would be, but basically I would have to extend my contract and re-enlist for however much time would have been needed. So it's like, so that was my options. I could either get out or re-enlist to go spend 6 months in Iraq. And obviously, I was like weighing it. Obviously, you're in a, war zone, whatever. But I mean, I guess the perks are it's tax free and you get hazard pay and all that. But then also you also come back with PTSD and all that stuff. But anyways, so they make it sound good. They don't want you to not re-enlist. So it was a mental process of me deciding whether I was going to go ahead and end my contract or re-enlist. Ultimately, I ended up deciding to go ahead and end my contract and use my GI Bill to go to school. But when I made that decision, right, I was just like, fine, I'm just going to go to school. I really don't want to go to Iraq. So I made my decision to go ahead and not re-enlist. Luck would have it, would you know, that they ended up announcing after I made that decision, psych, never mind, we're not going to Iraq, we're going to Japan. Like, what? Like, why? Why would you do that to me? Because obviously, if it would have been Japan from the start, hey, maybe I would have re-enlisted and went ahead and did my tour in Japan. But I didn't want to be that person. Technically, I still could have changed my mind at that point. But I didn't want to be that person to change my mind. Be like, oh, what? Wait, you guys aren't going to Iraq? Oh, never mind. I'm down to go with you guys. Like, I didn't want to be, I didn't want to be that person. Like, oh, since you're not going to battle. But anyway, so I ended up just getting out and then going to school, which I feel, looking back at my life, it was meant to be. Like, I'm so happy that things played out as it was, that I didn't re-enlist, that I did go to school. So much happened as I went to school. That's why I started figuring out my passion for filmmaking and photography, and just so much happened, going to school. But it is just funny thinking back, like, I never went to Japan. I mean, I still can now on my own terms, which that's what I'm grateful for now. Like, I can still go to Japan one of these days, and it'll be on my terms. It won't be on military terms, right? I'd be able to go where I want and do what I want. Obviously, within the legal system. But yeah, anyway, so that's my backstory of Japan. But one of these days, I'm gonna make it there. But yeah, I've always loved Japanese culture. And actually, when I was in the Navy, actually I had a really good friend we were stationed together, and she was Japanese, and she was from Japan, so I just remember her teaching me different things about the culture, and which one of the perks of being in the military, you meet people just from all over the world. Unfortunately, the perk I did not experience while I was in the military was traveling, because all I saw was Jacksonville. But again, we were in a time of war, so I'm not complaining. Let's see. Yeah, well, at least you get to visit Japan on your own terms. Maybe do a documentary or a small film in Japan. I volunteered as intern. Oh, right on. Yeah, we'll have to do it. Totally. Have to get on there, Robert. Japan. Yeah. One day coming up. Yeah, that is sad, right? With the Olympics having to get postponed. I'm curious though, because with the 2020 Olympics being canceled or postponed, or I haven't looked up what are they doing now with the Olympics. But I just thought it was funny because Japan had already made so much stuff, like like stuffed animals, toys, souvenirs, shirts, everything had already been made and printed saying Japan 2020. So it's like, what happened to all that stuff? This Japan 2020, the Olympic stuff. It is sad that I guess in a way it just had to all go to waste, but I am curious where it all went. Alright, so I guess here are some lines. They're rather squiggly, but it'll be alright. It'll be alright. I'm gonna go with it. We're gonna, I definitely have some work in learning how to properly do lines in Procreate, but we'll get there. Let's see, do a new layer. See what I want to do now. All right. Oh, I can hide the sketch layer, so we don't have to look at it. This is so cool. I love this. Man. Let's see. Oh wow, yeah, curious about the Olympic merchandise. I totally buy something, right? It's like, is it a discount? Or yeah, if I need to, but it's like, who's not gonna remember 2020? Or I guess those that are just being born. Which I am curious on what the statistics are on births, right? Because everyone was saying when the world shut down, right, this spring, like, how many babies are being born? Let's see, 9, 10, 11. That are good. I guess they would have to start being born come December or so. All the quarantine babies. Like, when are they gonna start popping out? Is there gonna be an increased birth rate? I'm curious. Let's see. Whoops. I think Tech Pen was the one I wanted to play around with. Let's see, and I am on a new layer. Oh man, zooming in, I can really see how messy my lines are. Just clean that up. Oh, goodness gracious. Actually, I don't even like that line. Oh, hey, Jay. Thanks. Thank you. Let's see, what am I doing here? I go to the side. Or, actually, I want to go back to my sketch layer. I'm going to try something. Sketching. Whoa, whoa. Oh. Telling you, so much to learn. I'm trying to see if I can do something with this fan or flipper. I don't know what to call these. I should have looked up the anatomy of a sea turtle. The little turtle arm. Alright, so I think I want to do something like this to split it up. Oh, this, if you look in the art, whatever this is, slideshow, the picture of the heart where it says like there is no reason with the heart, that was breakup art. And that was the inspiration of that. And then that's Mad Hatter. The inspiration of, I guess, this sea turtle is just random. I was just like, what do I want to draw? I was just like, let's do a turtle. I don't think I've ever really drawn a turtle before. Turtle. I like turtles. Remember that meme? That's an old school one. Which is funny because that clip of that kid is actually from Portland. Alright, I don't know how I'm feeling about this, but I may keep the lines there for now. Yeah, so that's the one I was talking about, breakup art. I don't know, I may shrink the turtle down some and then do some stuff in the background. Kind of like how I did like with these pictures here. But I love the fact that I can resize and change things so effortlessly. Technology is amazing. Just got myself a drawing pen delivered today. I really don't know what I'm doing. I drew an unshapely circle. Yeah, no, definitely. It's all about playing around. You'll get it, definitely. What I love with Procreate though is that it lets you do the whole like thing where if you hold still, like, and you push your finger down and you can get a perfect circle. Like, oh, that's awesome. So I'm not sure what app you're using, but it helps because you can do that, and then you just hold the pen down, and it does a circle for you. And then you can put your finger; it makes it perfect. But they're so much fun to learn with digital. Let's see. Is it a Huian? I don't know what that means. If we talk about pencils, Oh, gotcha. You're on Photoshop. Yeah, Photoshop should have circle tools as well. I'm still learning this stuff. To be honest, I can't talk like an expert, but I'm using iPad Pro, and then I'm using Procreate is the app that I'm in, and then yeah, and then I have the Apple Pencil. Those are the tools that I'm using. See, I have no drawing skills, but said may as well learn something. Yeah, do it, definitely. Every skill is learnable, and then what's great about art is there is no getting it wrong. You know, it's just putting lines on paper, or I guess in this case, you know, putting pixels in a digital space. But yeah, have fun with it. I think that's the most important thing with art is just having fun. And then what's cool with drawing too is like there's just so many tutorials. Like, you know, you can learn how to draw anything. With the internet, you can whatever you want, you know, you can find someone and they can guide you through it. And then, you know, and then you do it, you practice, and then all of a sudden shapes actually start making sense after a while. But they don't have to. That's the joy, though, of art. It doesn't have to make sense, even if you're the only one who knows what it is. Yeah. You got it, Jay. Just draw away, have fun. Trying to see. Kind of come at a standstill of what I want to work on, because I don't want to get I guess I'm not feeling getting inspired to get into the detail work yet, because I think I want to save that for my next stream. So right now I'm just playing around, just trying to think what I want to do. Maybe I'll play around with resizing. I guess, can you resize both layers? Let's see. What is this layer? Why do I have another layer? I don't know what this layer is. I have a random layer. I'm gonna delete it because I don't know what it is. Let's see what happens. So do this, and then I have it on uniform. I can move. Oh, that just okay. It doesn't do all the layers. Oh no, okay, how do I undo that? Undo! Reset. Okay. Whew. Oh, you know what? I think there's a way that if I can select both layers. How do I select both layers? Darn it, I know there's a way to select two layers. I just don't know how to do it. But it's two fingers do. Okay, two fingers doesn't do it. So I'm just gonna have to hold off on that. Darn it! Well, so much for that. Because what I was wanting to do was to shrink it down and rearrange the turtle. I guess if I don't worry about my sketch layer, then I'll just do this. And you know what? I think I'm actually gonna duplicate this for now, just so I have a backup, because I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so we're on this layer, and yeah, shrink them down, and then I want to spin them. Spin them around. How do I? There we go. There we go. Yeah. They got an angle now. Let's see. That's at 75%. 25%. Let me see what that looks like. Okay, so this might... No, I want him bigger. Hope I don't mess things up, but I have my backup. Thought I wanted to shrink him. I want him back. Come back to your size. I'm probably missing pixels all up. Try that. And luckily I duplicated the layer, so I have a backup just in case. Okay, so I want yet another layer, but I want this layer actually to be under this one. Okay, and then what I'm trying to figure out now, so I say in the background, try to do something. Let me shrink this down. Maybe. Okay. Well, that's something. Under the sea. Oh, see, now I'm thinking about Little Mermaid. More nostalgia. That was like, oh, Little Mermaid was my all-time favorite movie as a kid. Yeah, oh, yeah, that was my #1 Disney movie. Ariel, loved it. Although Ursula, man, she is something. That's one thing I was sad because I was totally planning to go to Disney World again this year because I went last year and it was so much fun. I went with my sister and my cousins, and it was my first. Oh, it wasn't Disney World. Sorry, Disneyland. I went to Disneyland for the first time because I went to Disney World years ago. But yeah, I went to Disneyland for the first time. It was so much fun. They had just opened up the Star Wars area. So then that was so much fun too, going on the new Star Wars ride. I don't know a lot about Star Wars, but I've always, it's funny, I own a ridiculous amount of Star Wars shirt to be someone who has never actually really watched the movies. I always call them my poser shirts. They're just cool shirts. They look cool. But I always get called out like when I wear them in public, and then I'll get someone talking to me Star Wars talk, and I'll be like, I have no clue what you're talking about, bro. But usually I'll just smile and nod, and I'm like, oh, are you excited for the such and such movie? Blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, totally. I have no clue. But I don't want to be caught out as a poser. But they're just cool shirts. I don't know. I have tons of poser shirts. But yeah, Star Wars is definitely one of them. But anyways, yeah. So Disneyland was so much fun. Yeah. My favorite character that I met at Disneyland was Cruella de Vil. Oh my god, she was so epic. Just because she was so sassy and just like the obviously the woman acting, because you know they have the characters walk around the park or whatnot. But I don't know, she was just so much fun. I mean, my sister got a selfie with her. But yeah, Disney knows what they're doing. Multi-billion-dollar corporation. It's like, yeah, if you want to know about business, just study the Disney park. Like, nothing is by accident. They put so much psychology into how they set up their parks. It works. Although this shirt that I'm wearing is not a poser shirt. A Britney Spears. It's Britney, bitch. Oh my goodness. I can still remember the very first time I seen Britney Spears. Alright? Because I know where I was sitting. Because I know the house that we were living in. My family, we had just gotten cable. And I was watching MTV because there was the time, again, going to nostalgia. Remember when MTV actually played music? Oh my god. So I was watching MTV and Hit Me Baby One More Time had just came out. And I just remember just being just starstruck, just in awe. I was like, who is this chick? Like, oh my god. And I remember I could not remember her name though. It took me so long to remember her name because you know how like at the end of the music video they say write the artist name and the name of the song, and so I just remember reading Britney Spears, you know. But then the next time the video would come on and be like, oh my goodness, who wait, what's her name again? So I've been in love with Britney was from the start. Yeah, I love good memories, right? Oh, my room. If you would have seen my room when I was like 13 years old, you would have thought I was a stalker. Like, my room was so Britney'd out, it was crazy. Like, I had, because remember like those teen magazines, like those teen bop magazines, you could buy them and you could get pinups of like, because NSYNC was all the thing. I was definitely an NSYNC girl. I was not into, because you either had to be Backstreet or NSYNC. You couldn't do both. So I was an NSYNC girl. But anyways, so I remember those I would buy those magazines, and then over time, I think my wall started off first. It was all the different pop that I liked. So I had pictures of NSYNC, and I had Britney, Christina Aguilera, and just all of the cool peeps at that time. And then slowly but surely, as I bought more magazines, more Britney would got at it. So eventually it'd be like, oh, sorry, Lance from NSYNC. This now spot goes to Britney. And my wall ended up just being head to toe with ceilings and all. I have a picture somewhere, like an actual Polaroid picture of my room from that time. But it was like scary how much Britney was in my room. Like if you would have walked in there, you would have thought a Britney stalker must live in this domicile. Like, oh, you had a Britney poster too. I mean, Britney was everything. So yeah, I was so in love with Britney. So in love. And then I am sad though, right? Because she had her Vegas situation and which I guess she ended now, but I didn't go. Let's see. Yep, I had Britney Spears, Christina, NSYNC, Spice Girls. Oh my god, Spice Girls. Oh my god, yes. Oh, Spice Girls were everything. When I was in the 6th grade, me and my friend went to see Spice World, and we seen it again and again. I saw Spice World in theaters at least probably like 6 times or so. Like Spice Girls were everything. Let's see, my favorite Spice Girl was definitely Sporty Spice. Yes, Sporty Spice would say with number 1, and then after that I was Scary Spice, And then, you know, all the rest fall in there as a whole. But, oh yeah, Spice Girls. Telling you, nostalgia is a thing. Good times, good memories. But yeah, so yeah, I never saw Britney though in concert. And then yeah, when she was in Vegas, I was in Vegas for a business thing, and I was looking at tickets, and I was gonna go, but I didn't have anyone to go with. And thinking back, I'm mad at myself because I should have just went by myself. Like, obviously there would have been, you know, hundreds of people there anyways. Like, it's not like I would have been there by myself, which even if I was, I mean, it's Britney. So I should have just went. So I am upset with myself for not going to see Britney in Vegas, because that was, you know, my last chance. But yeah, Britney will forever hold a special place in my heart. Yes, I was way too in love with her. But yeah, Christina Aguilera was awesome. Who else was good back in that day? I'm trying to think who all I had like CDs and stuff, because remember when we used to actually buy CDs? I had although this was that also, I guess my 13-year-old self, that's when Napster was coming into play, man, and I was a pirate for sure. Oh man, I used to download so much music, and but obviously internet speeds were slow, so what you would have to do is you have to like start some downloads and then go to sleep and then hope that the downloads were done by the time you woke up. Because that's, you know, we still use dial-up back in that time. The good old AOL days. But yeah, I used to burn so much music. I used to burn music for everyone. Yeah. I think who else did I like? I mean, not as big, but as I'm thinking about that period of time, me being 13 or whatnot, Nelly Furtado was big on my list. I used to, I had that her album I used to play out. All right. Well, I got a general idea of where I'm going here. Like, I think in the background I'm gonna do like this whole wave situation with these wavy lines. But I think I'm coming to a close of where I want to close things off, because unfortunately I can't stream forever. It's been how long have we been on here though? Because we've been hanging out a couple hours. All right, that's what I planned for. I planned to do it. I thought I'd do about 2 hours hopping on, so that is good. And what's weird is I guess the streaming software that I use, for whatever reason, drains my laptop to where even though I have my laptop plugged into the power source, I have 15% battery. Like, it's so powerful, the streaming software that I use, that my charger can't even keep my laptop charged while streaming. Let's see, I had Ace of Base. Oh, Ace of Base, yes. And yes, Nelly Furtado, her first single was so cool. Yep, I'm like a bird. I can't sing for shit, but you know. Love me some Nelly Furtado. That first album, I recently replayed that album, and it's so weird how music can take you back to a period of time in your life, because I was listening to that album, and then I did it to where I put it in my Spotify, and I did it to where, you know, the original track list, because I guess that's a thing we don't really get so much now with streaming music, right? It's track list. You gotta have it in the right order. So I was listening to her album at the actual, like, with the actual track list, and it was so cool to hear, just to hear those and be taken back though to like my teenage self. I think I could just see myself just running around through the streets of Portland, like with my headphones on, and oh man. See. Hey Jay, so what? Well, nice on the turtle. I may go and try and draw a little. Awesome, Jay. Yes, get at it. And hit me up on Instagram if you want, and let me see how your drawings turn out. And then I I just realized I probably need to put on this screen my social handles. I guess I'm at Shane-tastic. Or if you look at my name, Shane Warren, I think I'm like the first person that pops up on Instagram under Shane Warren. Although, so I'm sad someone took Shane Warren because the actual name, like that should have been my handle. It was available for years, but I never actually locked it down. And now someone actually did finally take that handle. All good. I like my Shane-tastic. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out. It's been so much fun. I love this. I plan to do this again next weekend. Just to draw and chat and hang out. And then so next weekend I'll get back to the turtle and maybe do the detail work and finish this project. But all right. I guess I'm closing this out. Everyone, thank you for chatting with me, hanging out. So cool getting into some nostalgia. I'm like waiting a second because I want to see who's gonna say bye in the chat. Trying to think what time I will do. I'm never good at setting times for streams. See, so much fun. I drew some stuff along. Awesome. That's so good to hear. I love that. That this is a fun, group effort. Something we get to do together. All right, everyone. Cool. All right. So now we got some goodbyes. All right. Yes. Be safe. Definitely. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.